Hello everyone, this is Mukesh Soni and welcome to my channel Mukesh English. Friends, in this video we'll have a discussion of the third semester BA Generic English question paper 2023 examination question paper under Bangalore North University. So we are going to have a discussion of the BNU University of Bangalore North University question paper. And for the BU students, this question paper can also be considered as the practice paper. The reason behind this, BU and BNU both have the same syllabus. So dear BU students, you can consider this question paper as the practice question paper for you because both the universities have the same syllabus. Now let's begin the discussion. The unit number one have the play as the boy comes home and the five speeches. Now under the play we have five questions here and these are the 2 marks question. Let's try to understand these 2 marks questions. Under play the boy comes home. In Uncle James' dream, Philip threatens Uncle James with a bomb and gun. Actually the word revolver has been used, but here the appropriate option is here, with a bomb and gun. Uncle James loves to exercise control over people. Yes, it's true. Uncle James had supplied potatoes to the army and he had sent his nephew Philip to serve in the army. Is Philip closer to Auntie Emily than Aunt Emily than Uncle James? Yes, he's very closer to Aunt Emily. The reason is she's of a very pleasant nature, and whereas Uncle James is bit strict and expect discipline in every aspect of life. How old is Philip? He's 23 years old and he has to wait till the age of 25 if he really would like to gain his financial freedom, his own property. He has to wait for another 2 more years till he becomes 25. Then Uncle James' behavior towards Philip is option B, dictatorial, very just like a dictator. What is the rule in Uncle James' house regarding breakfast? The rule is here: breakfast should not be served after 8 a.m. Now, and these are the 2 marks questions. Now we have 5 marks questions from the play The Boy Comes Home. Describe the incident which makes Philip deal with Mrs. Higgins firmly. So at 10 a.m., Philip enters the dining room for breakfast. For breakfast, breakfast should not be served after 8 a.m. according to Uncle James' rules. As a result, Philip finds nothing on the table. When he requests Mary, the parlor maid, to bring him some boiled eggs and a cup of tea, she replies that Mrs. Higgins, the chef, may not accept this. Meanwhile, his aunt Emily arrives. She's a lovely lady. Philip is smitten with her. He's very close to her. He communicates his affection for her while also expressing his disdain for Uncle James' commanding demeanor. When Mary comes from the kitchen, she informs Aunt Emily that Mrs. Higgins wishes to speak with her. Philip stops her as she is ready to depart and asks Mary to bring Mrs. Higgins. This action shows Philip's maturity in dealing with the servants. Mrs. Higgins claims that breakfast has been served at 8 o'clock in the morning since she came and that she cannot modify it until she receives an order from the master. The disagreement has reached the point where Mrs. Higgins has been issued a 1 month notice. Philip instantly responds by handling a check for 1 month's salary in advance, and he instructs Mrs. Higgins to resign from the job immediately and leave the house. Mrs. Higgins is surprised by his conduct. She immediately alters her demeanor and brings breakfast to Philip. Aunt Emily notes the transformation Philip has undergone after the war. Since the war, Philip handles this problem diplomatically and authoritatively, that he is no longer the youngest who fled home 4 years ago. Question number 2. Write briefly on what Uncle James claims he has made and what does it tell you about his personality. Sorry, not her personality, his personality. So, first, I had taken the extract from the text. Uncle James says that now that's a sort of silly sentiment that there has been too much of. I object to it strongly. I don't want to boast, but I think I may claim to have done my share. I gave up my nephew to my country and I suffered from the shortage of potato to an extent that you probably didn't realize. Indeed, if it had not been for your fortunate discovery about that time that you didn't really like potatoes, I don't know how we should have carried on. And as I think I have told you before, the excess profits tax seemed to me a singularly stupid piece of legislation, but I paid it, and I don't go boasting about how much I paid. So, what is the meaning here? What James claims here? Uncle James tells about his sacrifice in a very funny manner. He says that he has done his part for the country by giving his nephew to the country, by suffering the shortage of potato, and by paying the excess profit tax. So his claims are very funny. Question number three: compare Uncle James with Aunt's character and bring out the difference between them in the attitude towards Philip. So let's know about Uncle James. Uncle James is an aged man. He's a strict person by nature. He specified a time schedule for dining and for every type of work. Everything is done on time. He considers Philip as an inexperienced person. That's why he decided to engage Philip in his business, but Philip does not agree with him. Emily is Philip's aunt. She's of a pleasant nature. She takes very good care of his house and puts the thing in a proper arrangement. She's a kind hearted woman. Emily is an aunt of Philip and loves Philip. She feels concerned about her welfare of Philip. There is a mark of love and frankness in a conversation with Philip. She's loved and respected by Philip. So this is the character, we could say, the comparison between Uncle James and Aunt. Now we have 10 marks questions from the play. Explain how the theme of generation gap is brought out in the play The Boy Comes Home by A. Millen. Now I have tried to mention here a quite large answer, long answers, so that could also cover any other questions which appear in the examination. The Boy Comes Home is a light comedy by A. Millen. The type of the play shows that a boy, Philip, returns from France at the end of Second World War after fighting against Germany. Philip is about 23 years old when comes home to his guardian Uncle James' house in England. He is a mature boy and very much depressed after the Second World War was ended. He hates tough army life and now he wants to enjoy his life freely. He had served the army for 4 years. When he went to fight Germany, he was an immature boy of 19 years old. He lacked confidence and courage. At that time, he was unaware of the problems of practical life. His late father left for his large property, but he could not acquire it until he reached the age of 25. After fighting against Germany, he had become a mature boy. Moreover, he was free to do any work. So it was because of the effect of war that Philip had become a changed person. The generation gap is the major theme of the play. Uncle James is a representative of the old generation. Philip is the representative of the young generation. Philip wants to think, work, and act according to his own will, while Uncle James had set some rules in his house. He does not like his rude and bad attitude, which Philip demands the money that his father has left for him, but his uncle does not give him until the age of 25 years, until he becomes 25 years young or old. Uncle James desires that Philip should join his business of jam, while Philip wants to become an architect. After the dream scene, Uncle James becomes a changed person, but Uncle James and Philip develop a healthy relationship further. The greatest value of new generation is freedom and independence. To maintain and guard freedom, the new generation has fought 4 years long war. Hence, they prefer freedom to all the other values. The greatest value of the old generation is obedience and respect for elders. Mr. James is a symbolic character who is upholding the old values and social traditions. The point emphasized by the author is that even good social values and traditions become taboos and a burden on the society when blindly followed. When a sense is taken out of them, it is in fact a conflict between the tradition and modernity that goes on side by side in all the ages. The generation gap is an important theme in the play, and we have seen Uncle James represents the old generation and Philip represents the young generation. Philip intends to think, work, and act independently, while Uncle James has given rules in his house. So we know that he does not like his rude and bad attitude which Philip had, and Philip commands here that he requires his father's money, but he says that you cannot get you have until you reach to the age of 25. So this is how the play reflects here the generation gap between the two persons, Uncle James and Philip. Second question we have here, describe Uncle James' dream and the transformation in his personality. The boy comes home. The play deals with the domestic problems and affairs between the old and the young generations. The whole play revolves around the two characters, Uncle James and his nephew, Philip. Philip has returned from the army. Uncle James calls his nephew, Philip, to discuss his future plan. Before the arrival of Philip, Uncle James goes to sleep and he has a dream. In his dream, Uncle James threatens his nephew to accept his order and discipline. Philip wants to become an architect while his uncle forces him to join his jam business. Philip smokes in front of his uncle, so this dream is going on. Uncle James rebukes him for smoking in his presence. Uncle James is the guardian of the wealth of Philip, which his father has left. He is not allowed to give him until he reaches the age of 25. He has the belief that maturity is a significant state of mind. It is not connected with a certain age limit in years. Philip demands his money. Dream is going on. Philip demands his money. Philip is very aggressive and does not listen to his uncle. When Uncle James does not return money to Philip, Philip takes out his revolver at his uncle and asks him to submit. Uncle James agrees to give him money. So the use of force resolves the conflict between Philip and his uncle. That's in the dream. So at the same moment, Uncle James' dreams are over and he has become a very changed person after the dream. Now he has become very kind enough to Philip. No doubt Uncle James quarrels with Philip in his dream, but after this incident, after this dream, he has changed his attitude. The dream sequence has great importance in the play. The boy comes home for a number of reasons. First and the foremost, it looks very awkward and immoral for a nephew to aim a revolver at his uncle and to make him kneel down and beg for his life. That is why the writer has used the dream sequence to relate this awkward and immoral situation. He makes the reader believe that all this has happened in a dream and he should not take it seriously. Sorry. Secondly, we see that dream sequence ends the conflict between Philip and Uncle James. Philip does not like Uncle James' authoritative attitude and strict discipline. He wants to live somewhere else. He wants his money and wants to learn some profession, while Uncle James does not want to give him the money until he is 25. So we see that after his dream, Uncle James is a new man. Now there exists no conflict between uncle and nephew. He is now a reasonable man. Now he understands the problems of the young generation. So thirdly, the dream sequence is a source of comedy. After the dream, Uncle James repeats the same words as Philip has spoken in his dream. In the dream sequence, Philip says, "If I am 4 years behind, so is everybody else." After the dream sequence, Uncle James speaks the same words and he says, "Well, if you are 4 years behind, so is everybody else." So these kinds of sentences create comedy, and the reader laughs when he reads these sentences. Therefore, with the help of the dream sequence, the playwright, has related a very awkward and immoral incident. It resolves the conflict between Philip and Uncle James and provides comedy to the play. So that's about these 10 marks, these 40 marks, sorry, these 30 marks questions from the play The Boy Comes Home. Now we are going to have a discussion about 10 marks questions from the speeches here, and out of four or the five questions you need to attempt only two. So speeches have the weightage for 10 marks. And friends, I have done the videos on all the topics of a third semester BA. You can see the links of those videos in the description box, or you can also check the playlist where I have mentioned here BU third BA, BU BNU third BA. You can go through the playlist. So now the question one from the speech we have here: according to Dr. Ambedkar, how is untouchability not only worse than slavery but positively cruel as compared to slavery? Untouchability, according to Dr. Ambedkar, untouchability has none of the three advantages of unfree social order mentioned above. The untouchable has no entry in the higher arts of civilization and no way open to life of culture. He must only sweep. He must do nothing else. Untouchability carries no security as to livelihood. None from the Hindus is responsible for the feeding, housing, clothing of the untouchable. The health of the untouchable is the care of nobody. Indeed, the death of an untouchable is regarded as a good riddance. There is a Hindu proverb which says the untouchable is dead and the fear of pollution has vanished. On the other hand, untouchability has all the disadvantages of a free social order. In a free social order, the responsibility for survival is the struggle for existence lies on the individual. This responsibility is one of the greatest disadvantages of a free social order. Whether an individual is able to carry out this responsibility depends upon fair start, equal opportunity, and square deal. The untouchable, while he's a free individual, had neither fair start, nor equal start, and nor square deal. From this point of view, untouchability is not only worse than slavery, but is positively cruel as compared to slavery. In slavery, the master has the obligation to find work for the slave. In a system of free labor, workers have to compete with workers for obtaining work. In this scramble for work, what chances has the untouchable for a fair deal? To put it shortly, in this competition with the scales away weighing against him by reason of a social stigma, he is the last to be employed and the first to be fired. Untouchability is cruelly as compared to slavery because it throws upon the untouchable the responsibility for maintaining himself without opening to him fully at the ways of earning a living. So that's about untouchability. Question number two: Kalam has a great vision strengthening India in three aspects. The speech was delivered by the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, on 25th May 2011, IIT Hyderabad, India. Dr. Kalam mentions three visions for India. He says that in 3000 years of our history, people from all over the world have come and invaded us and captured our land, conquered our minds. From Alexander onwards to the Greeks, the Turks, the Mughals, the Portuguese, the British, the French, the Dutch, all of them came and looted us, took over what was ours. Yet we have not done this to any other nation. So he has three visions. The very first vision, freedom. Dr. Kalam says that we have not conquered anyone, we have not grabbed the land, the culture, the history, and try to enforce our way of life on them because we respect the freedom of others. Hence, his first vision is of freedom. He believes that India got its freedom India got its freedom with first vision freedom in 1857 when we started the War of Independence. It is this freedom we must protect, nurture, and build on. If we are not free, no one will respect us. Second vision, development. Speaking on his second vision, Dr. Kalam further mentions that we have 10% growth rate in most of the areas. Our poverty levels are falling down, our achievements are being globally recognized today, yet we lack the self confidence to see ourselves as a developed nation, self reliant, and self assured. So he mentions his second vision for India as development. He says that for 50 years we have been a developing nation. It is the time we see ourselves as a developed nation. We are among top 5 nations in the world in terms of GDP. Third vision, India must stand up to the world. Further, Kalam mentions his third vision for India, and it is India must stand up to the world. He believes that unless India stands up to the world, no one will respect us. Only strength respects strength. We must be strong not only as a military power but also as an economic power. Both must go hand in hand. Dr. Kalam feels luck to have worked with three great minds, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai of Department of Space, Professor Satish Dhawan, who succeeded him, and Dr. Brahma Prakash, father of nuclear material. He considers this the great opportunity of his life. So these are the three visions for India by Dr. Kalam. Third question, how does Sarojini Naidu highlight the importance of women's education in her speech? Emphasizing on the importance of women's education, Sarojini Naidu says that education makes a person more intelligent than she is. An educated woman can look after her house better than her illiterate sister. In Europe, type of critics similar to that in India today was once met who cried, who would look after children? Who would light the lamps? Will the women be allowed to bring dishonor to us, menfolk? So where is that type of critics gone? Hundreds of the thousands of European men go to the battlefield with this consolation in in their hearts that their educated wives will look after the house in their absence. So that's a kind of a strength that the husbands they have, that yes, in my absence, at least my wife who is educated, they are looking after my children, so I need not worry about the nurturing of my children, right? So could Indians have the same kind of consolation? Why don't the Indian uh, husband think about their own wife if their wife is educated? So Japan founded universities for women, and benefits from these universities have been reaped by others than the Japanese also. So this is how Sarojini Naidu has highlighted the importance of education in women's life. So these are the three questions from speeches. We need to opt only two questions. So friends, this is how we have discussed here the 40 marks questions from the unit number one. Now we are going to have a discussion of the remaining uh, 20 marks question. And the very first question we have here, presentation skills. So under this we have a choice. So first question we have here, we need to read this passage. You can pause the video, you can read the passage. We need to read the passage, and based on the passage we have to prepare here 5 or 6 slides. So you can pause the video, you can read the passage, and after reading the passage I have tried to make the slides like this. You can also bring up better than that, than this. It's a sample answer. So slide 1, the topic presented by, slide 2, the meaning, the key points, the picture you can draw if you want to draw here. Slide 3, results of earthquake. Again you have the subheadings. Then slide 4, then you have slide 5, slide 6, and the last one is here, slide 7. So you need to read the passage, you need to extract the information, and you need to prepare the slide. Suppose you don't want to attempt this question, you have a choice here: preparing the slide, preparing the presentation based on a given topic. So here you don't have information, you need to plan, you need to think. So draft demonstrative presentation on how to prepare a cup of tea. So slide 1, topic cup of tea, then presented by XYZ. You can draw the image. And afterwards, slide 2, slide 3. See, demonstrative means to say, again, you are giving the instructions here. So give the instruction, draw the images, and complete your presentation in 7 or the 8 slides. So this is how, if you prepare the slides in this manner, in a very elegant manner, you need to bring a wow factor so that somebody should say so beautiful, so elegant, and just looking like a wow. So because you don't make a plain presentation, you won't get the marks. Decorate it, use the color pencils. You have blue color, black color pen, you have the pencil, give a shade to the border. So somehow make it quite more elegant, make it more presentable. So that you can get 5 out of 5 marks. Next question you have here, writing paragraph. So here again, the for example, you have a this paragraph is about like walk on the beach, right? So you need to read the outline, and based on the outline you need to prepare the paragraph. You can pause the video and you can read it. Similarly, you'll be having one more paragraph about the past incident, the incident in the sense some sort of event, incident narration. So with the help of the given key points, better you develop a narration like this: farewell celebration. So the paragraph writing, 5 marks. Then up next you have okay, you have three choices. Comparative paragraph also. Sometimes they ask life before mobile phone and life after mobile phone. So comparison. For example, today we have the topics like fuel-based vehicle versus EV, or the electrical vehicle. So like this, so a sort of comparative paragraphs may appear. You need to compare and you need to draft it. So you have here plenty of choices. Three choice you have. Attempt only one and get the 5 marks. Up next, you have here 5 marks letter writing. So don't forget, I have done the letter writing videos, two important videos I have done, and you can see the links of those letter writing videos in the description box. You are a resident of so and so address, Feet Road, 80 Feet Road, Rajajinagar, Bangalore 10. You want to admit your brother's kid in a play school nearby. Write a letter of inquiry seeking details regarding the admission date, fee structure, facilities available for the children, teachers, the qualifications, safety measures to ensure the safety to the children. Write a letter. So it's a letter of inquiry. So obviously, as usual, you'll be writing here the sender's address, then you have date, then you have receiver's address, then you have salutation, dear sir, madam, then you have subject, inquiry regarding the play school program, then you have body of the letter. So you can modify it. I try to give very short precise body. With reference to advertisement published in the Times of India, I am pleased to see your kids schools features. I would like to admit my brother's kid in a reputed kids school. We would like to know the admission date, fee structure, facilities available, teachers, qualifications, safety measures, etc. Kindly forward your brochure. Kindly forward your the whole details, or kindly mail the details. Thank you. Yours truly, Manish. So simple way, better to write the simple way, but use this format. Sender's address, date, receiver's address, dear sir, madam, subject, body of the letter, thank you note, and closing remark and signature. Yours truly, yours faithfully, yours obediently, yours sincerely, and the name of the writer. Second question you have here, you are hosting a party, and you have placed an order. You have placed you need to place an order, Ruchita Event Management Company, for cake, refreshment, balloons, decoration, accessories, cool drinks, and for slides, merry go around, etc. To entertain the kids. So you need to, this is a letter of order. So again, same thing: sender's address, date, receiver's address. Okay, then dear sir, madam, order for birthday party cakes, etc. Having gone through the good reviews, we are glad enough to see your quality services. We are going to organize a birthday party on 2nd February. We have found that your company provides best service. We would like to place an order for 10 kg cake, refreshments, balloons, decoration, accessories, etc. Kindly send the above mentioned items on 2nd February 2023 at 11 a.m. Please do find the attached address, which I forgotten to mention here, enclosed address copy or the location. Thank you, yours truly. So this is the letter of order. Earlier inquiry order letter. So you have very good choices here. Three questions, and out of three questions, you are going to attempt one. Third question you have here, you had ordered a dress material online. Upon delivery of the product, you find out that the dress was displayed with it's very different from the display which you have seen and you ordered. Neither the material nor the quality is good. So write a letter of complaint. So again, Shruti, address, date, receiver's address, the manager, apnacollection.com. Subject: complaint regarding the dispatched product. With reference to your ads on your website, I had ordered 10 dresses on 20th in January. After opening the packet, it was found that the dress that was displayed was different from the one for which the order was placed. Neither the material nor the quantity of the material matched with the one displayed for advertisement. I have never experienced this in the online shopping. Kindly refund the 10 dresses amount as per the settled bill. Thank you, yours truly. So like this, you need to attempt one question for letter writing. So go through my description box and find the letter writing videos and practice. Let's move to the last question is here. So first question, let me remind here, 20 marks question. Number one, presentation slides. Number two, paragraph writing. Number three, you have letter writing. Number four, you have an option here, commercial advertisement or poster design. So draft a commercial advertisement for jewelry sale in not more than 50 words. So obviously commercial advertisement, want to make your jewelry stand out, contact number, some picture you can draw. So commercial advertisement video I have done, you can go through the video link in the description box, or we have the option here, design a poster on the importance of saving water for an awareness program. So I have borrowed these pictures from the Google images, so courtesy to Google. So you can draw like this, you can prepare the images like this, you can prepare the posters like this for bringing out an awareness regarding the saving of the water, saving water. So friends, this is how I have tried to solve here. There's one more question is here. You have plenty of choices in this question paper, especially BNU students. You are very much lucky. Design a travel brochure to a place of your choice, specify details, amount, food, etc. So again, this image is also being taken, extracted from Google Images, courtesy Google. So like this, South Indian Scania package, 2 nights, 3 days with prices you can mention. For more information, you can contact so and so. The cost includes. So friends, this is how you need to attempt the questions from the poster writing, or we can say the brochure writing. You can say commercial advertisements, and this is how I have tried to solve the question paper of BNU third semester BA 2023 examination. And friends, this question paper can also be used or considered as a practice paper. BU students, you can use this question paper as a practice paper for your examination. Again, I repeat, because BU and the BNU third semester BA have the same syllabus, so you have good advantage. Both the university students, you can exchange your QPs for the practice, not in the examination, for the practice. So thank you so much for watching this video. Find all the videos links in the description box of the playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I wish you good luck for the examination once again.